I'm Jonny Smith.
I'm Richard Porter.
And this is Smith & Sniff, a podcast in which two friends talk about cars and many other things.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome.
I'm Jonny.
I'm Richard. We've already said that in the intro that pre-recorded, but
I knew that.
Welcome to my front room and to my dog. That sound you can hear is Jonny patting my dog. Look at her passively happy dog face.
That
just
actually sounds like a stationary engine running in the background.
I always wanted to make a percussion track of some sort just from the sound of patting a dog firmly because, oh my God, sorry, people may know my dog's quite big and she's just tried to turn around and almost knock the microphone over with her tail. Mole, you probably just need to go and chill now.
She's getting a jackknife.
Yeah.
Did dogs jackknife?
She can do, yeah. Look, see, there you go, look. Now, it's when she suddenly notices her own tail and tries to chew it.
You're in the tail.
Oh my God, bully! Well, this is a
professional start,
an unusual start to a show. But hi everyone.
Welcome to the show.
You stayed at my house last night, which is why we're here.
I did stay at your house. So we're live, not live, recording from Richard's front room in Bath. I say Bath, he says Bath. That's basically the
potato.
Yeah.
And last night, my wife announced that she was going to bed, and I said, "Yeah, be up soon." And then we just stayed up late, mostly browsing shit Toyotas on Auto Trader for reasons.
I don't know how it started.
I know how it started. It's just come back to me. One of the US websites, maybe the Autopian or Jalopnik, had a piece about the original RAV4, because they've just announced the new RAV4.
Yeah.
And out of idle curiosity, I just went on Auto Trader and could see if there were any original RAV4s for sale.
I always call it a Rave because the 4 looks like an E to me, so it's a bit like the Rave, the Toyota Rave. My
parents knew someone whose son or daughter, adult son or daughter, had a RAV4. And this lady, she slightly reminded me of one of the women from Monty Python. Do you know what I mean? The Pepper Pots, they used to call her. But she used to say, "Oh, she's gone off in her rave." Are you going to take the rave?
Take the rave.
Take the rave. And
yeah.
it always bothered me because I'd be like, it's not called that.
No. Although the interiors...
Quite ravey.
Quite ravey, as it turns out.
So what did we discover? We discovered that there were 2 RAV4s for sale of the first gen, both for $999 in pounds. Yes. Both broken.
Yes.
So that's the going rate for a broken RAV4. One of them included, the description was crap. I don't know if I didn't keep it open.
Oh, gosh.
The description was terrible, and it just sort of said, Toyota RAV4, 1999, cut belt.
It said cut belt?
Cut belt?
And then there was a picture of the engine bay with someone's hand pointing at what looks like the cam belt cover area.
I think they were pulling out a bit of cam belt.
So does that mean it's completely broken or it's slightly broken?
But cut implies sabotage, and that's the bit I don't understand.
Oh. Is that like the engineer's equivalent of writing "you home wrecker" on the side of your car? You just get under there with the Stanley knife and snip the cam belt, you dirty little swine.
It's puzzling to me. And then the other one, I can't remember. The other one seemed to be on a sort of nice, neat driveway in a neat cul-de-sac house.
Yeah.
But the engine had clearly broken.
Well, and it had been backed into a wall and then driven into a fence.
But they'd very honestly included pictures of all the damage they'd inflicted on their own car that they were now trying to sell for $999. So, marks for honesty.
Yeah, that was very honest, actually.
But we were saying, it's like, there's a general thing, because then I was just... I don't think you were that interested, and rightly so, but I suddenly had this desire to check all of the obscure Toyotas on Auto Trader, because obviously a lot of JDM stuff comes in, and there'll be 2 Rounds or something on Auto Trader.
But what was this special edition RAV4 that you showed me?
Oh, Was it called the something Spalt?
It was the something
Hang on,
Spalt.
I'm going to find these ones.
Was it Free Spalt?
I think it might have been Free Spalt.
Free Spalt.
Free Spalt.
Spalts. Because it looked like a kind of easy listening version of a Subaru Impreza 555 rally car.
I'm going to do it by year because that's how I found them last time.
It's like a yacht rock rally recce car.
Free Spalt.
Free Spalt.
With arch extensions and some very period graphics, and then incredibly 90s seat fabric.
With blue dial surrounds, the what would you call it? The bezels of the gauges.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've done that themselves. I found that one that's on a neat driveway but is broken for $999. It says sought after Gen 1 model RAV4. Sought after, but has an engine issue, which I suspect is a coil pack / misfire, but cannot confirm, as would need looking at by someone more mechanically minded.
But can't be bothered, so $999.
Yeah. Otherwise, a really great car that has served me well over the last 4 years. I will be sad to see it go, but will you?
It's not old money enough because they would have had it for 24 years,
Yes.
not 4 years.
No, I don't think it's old money. I just think it's someone who has clattered it into a few things and then broken the engine and just wants it gone now.
You can't find the description of the other one.
I'm gonna. Here we go.
Had some appalling spellings as well.
Here we are.
Is that when they spelt water pump with W-A-R-T-E-R?
No, I think that was another one. No, here it is. The other one that's all nines. It's the description simply says the car in a good condition, but however, it has a cut belt.
in a good condition.
Yes, but that's it. That's the whole description. And this...
A cut belt.
So we were marvelling at the absolutely shocking state of descriptions / photos on car sales sites where you're allowed to upload your own things.
I just feel sorry for camera phone manufacturers. They've spent the last 10 years perfecting all of the wide-angle lenses, all of the, piss easy ways to take an incredible photo, numerous filters. You could even trip over mid-photo in low light and it still holds it.
It's
pretty well.
amazing, isn't it?
And yet we go on there and there's that Toyota Alphard for sale and there is no photo where the whole car is shown. Everything is a quarter of the car.
I think their camera phone had jammed on zoomed in and they just couldn't be bothered to walk far enough back.
Yeah,
incredibly over-detailed.
And the leading image of the classified ad, bearing in mind there were 20 photos of the car, the leading picture was the
electric window switch.
Electric window switches on the door with the fake wood inlay.
Astonishingly shocking. It's like, but also, and then you look and you go, oh, and you want $8,000 for this car. It's like £8,000. You're sitting on something which you believe and quite possibly is indeed worth £8,000.
Yeah.
If someone went, listen, I'm going to give you £8,000 if you can take some decent photos of that car and write a short but informative description, you'd go, well, I like those odds.
Yeah.
Yes, please, I'll take them. But when it's somehow, because the £8,000 is manifests itself in a car which you then need to sell, people go, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I'll put in the bare minimum.
What was that car that you had?
But, however, it has a cut belt.
What was the description of the car that we looked up where you clicked the description and all it brought up was vehicle registered on 3rd of September, 1999.
Yeah, that was it.
And anyway, you go,
that's it.
Imagine advertising a house for sale. You took a couple of blurry, really low effort photos and then just write house for sale, Bath.
Yeah. And then my lead photo was an extreme close-up of a radiator valve.
Yes.
It's not really selling
half of the front doorstep,
giving me the information I need. But no, it's weird, isn't it?
You'd actually be sectioned if you did that. People wouldn't accept it.
People wouldn't buy your house, would they? That's the bald truth of it. Yeah. That said, from our point of view as people who enjoy a keen bargain or an interesting car that's not been snapped up.
Yeah.
In fact, there's someone we know who he once had, what was it? I think it was a really low mileage Rover 45 or something that he paid like £7 for. And I was like, how did you manage to find that? And he went, because I'm always looking at bad eBay descriptions.
Oh my gosh.
People who can't do the title of the thing properly, never mind the description. It's just like, but if you can smell something beyond their ineptitude and you go, hang on a sec.
Oh, I used to do it frequently when I had less responsibility and more time. My favourite one was always go to the classic car section in eBay, right?
Yeah.
And then look through the titles.
Yeah.
And one of them will nearly always say classic car for sale.
Well, and that's it. Well, it turns out to be like a Bugatti Royale or something.
Honestly, haven't even written what kind of a car it was. It's just classic car for sale. So it's either someone's nicked it, someone's inherited it and doesn't care, and you have to click a picture. And again, it's normally a really blurry, like yank open the garage door, or it's on the end of the, and you just go, "Is that what is that? Actually, is that a Toyota Corolla?
Yeah, wow,
Hillman Hunter.
That's a blower Bentley."
Yeah.
Fully restored. But
Talbot
the description
Largo
just says thing for sale.
Yeah. Talbot Largo. PX to clear.
It drives me nuts. Well, it drives me nuts, but it's kind of fascinating. It's just, but bad eBay. I've discovered recently that actually, conversely, sometimes specificity is good.
Yes.
And I'm talking particularly about trying to find a couple of bits for my Honda Beat. Unfortunately, Honda in more recent years made a scooter called the Beat.
Oh, bollocks.
Which muddies the waters. However, the conscientious Beat parts seller, and there do seem to be quite a few out there, particularly in Japan, will always put Beat PP1, which is the model code for that car.
Ooh.
And then you know you're on the right track. On that note, by the way, can I just put out a little shout out? I don't know if anybody has a back box, basically back pipe. I was going to say, but that sounds wrong.
Rear portion of the exhaust
for a Honda Beat, because mine has got this enormous can of Japan on it. It's out of all proportions to the car, and I think it looks a bit stupid. Plus, every so often it just dinks against things. There's a particular bit of road I go down that's bumpy, and if you do it at anything more than about 20 miles an hour, the suspension compressors at just the right point to just catch on.
Ding.
Ding. Just it's a ding. It's not worrying. It's not a clatter. It's just a ding.
Well, presumably this means that your JDM can will be for sale.
If anyone wants
to another Beat owner.
Another Beat owner who wants a JDM can, you are very welcome to it. But in return, I would need a standard or smaller aftermarket pipe.
Or if someone could fabricate one out of stainless. Crafted to your specifications.
Well, that's the thing. The current pipe is not super loud, but it does allow pops and things on the overrun, which I quite like, and maybe would miss a little bit with a standard pipe. However, it's just, it's silly, the one that's on there. I'd like to just tone it down a little bit.
It's like a dog, a fighty dog, that you see walking along, and it's walking with bandy back legs because it's got, should we say it's a male dog that's got a lot of equipment at the back end.
But that's the thing. It's one of the things I like about having a K car is that it's almost the inverse of having like a Dodge Viper or a Corvette. It looks like you're not overcompensating.
Definitely not.
But the pipe on my car at the moment sort of undoes that effect, because it then looks like your car has got it's stuffing its shorts. So
it's low-hanging fruit.
Well, it is. I think it is low. I mean, it is low-hanging. It's ridiculous. I do always worry that I'm going to properly twat it on something and do some damage. So, yes. As if you point out, if anyone knows or can recommend a reputable exhaust fabricator near Bath, then get in touch. Hello at smithandsniff.com, because it's something I would like to get sorted. And then obviously I'm going to sell the Beat by just putting an advert on eBay that says
old car from Japan for sale,
red stuff for sale,
and
then one blurry picture. Do you know what I looked up the other day?
I would trip down your drive and put it on, in rapid shutter speed.
But they keep moving the whole time.
So as you trip over, you've taken 16 photos. One of them will be of the wall that you hit or the grass.
I'm going to set it recording on video, throw my phone in the air somewhere near the car, and then just take a screen grab that's got a tiny flash of the car in it.
And what would think you're trying to capture a rare bird on camera that's been eluding you for years.
And then just put Honda Bart for sale.
What's that? That Renault advert.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
What did it say?
Ronald
McGann.
It was a picture of was it a McGann convertible?
No, I think it was just one of the big bum McGann hatches.
Oh,
I think.
gosh. And the advert...
Ronald McGann.
It had obviously done some stupid autocorrect, or the person was an imbecile. We will put it up on our Instagram. It just says Ronald McGann. Just a bloke.
But McGann as in like McGann, right?
like an old man that runs the local council.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Ronald McGann.
Hey, Ronald McGann's here.
Yeah.
Sort of retro photo apps are always a thing for phones.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, I wonder, you don't ever still see 110 film apps.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought, I bet 110 is still a cult thing amongst hipsters or whatever. So I went on Instagram and I searched 110 film, and sure enough, an account comes up that just posts, I presume, scans of 110 photos.
Yeah.
They're fucking awful.
Yeah, they are.
It's so dark.
They're just terrible.
Incredibly dark. So what I really need to do if I want to badly advertise a car is get a 110 camera.
What about a disposable camera that you take to weddings in the 90s?
Oh, yeah. That was a big thing, wasn't it?
That was a massive
for a while.
thing. Yeah. And what you could do is, say you buy one with 36 shots.
Yeah.
I take 16 shots of one rear corner, not the other corners.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So you go, right, I totally know what the near side rear it looks like.
Yes.
But not other parts. And then, so that's half the film gone.
Yeah.
And then I'd take the driver's side, door open, but looking just at the floor and the threshold, so you can't see any of the other cabin.
Yeah.
A quarter of the engine bay, not the whole engine bay, not even half. And then, because it's a wedding photo camera, I'd take a picture of your pants.
Yes,
of course. You can see your trousers are down. Near the car, you see the red car in the background. It's completely out of focus.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just a guy with his boxer shorts on.
I mean, would it even be shorts on? Surely there was lots of arse.
I'd be mooning.
Because there was when was that? I suppose... Well, I went to a lot of weddings in the early 2000s.
Me too.
And I would say that was peak.
Yeah.
Disposable camera on the table.
Yeah. Pre-smartphone.
People who worked in Boots photo processing must have got quite bored of then someone coming in, they've got a bag of 12, 15 disposable cameras. Could you process all of these, please? And they're like, okay, so we've got 12 cameras there. They've got 24 shots on each, so that's 242. It's about 288 shots. There's going to be, I think, 37 arseholes.
Oh, completely.
Or at least bum cheeks.
There'll be a splayed one. No, there'll be some splayed cheeks.
Do you think? And there might be a scrotum or something in there.
There'll be a bag. There'll be 6 photos of someone's motorbike or car, which will be an agreed value for your insurance, and then it'll go straight back to skin shots again.
We used to have, my dad was a keen photographer when I was a kid, always a Pentax loyalist, loved a Pentax.
My dad was an Olympus loyalist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah. I'm sure they both got their merits.
Yeah.
But what he would do, like we'd been away somewhere or we'd just been out for a day and he'd taken a load of photos, and then he got back and he'd looked and he realised it was on. So he'd got 24 film in there.
Yeah.
23 shots. He's been like, I was hoping to send this off to get developed. He always used to send them away. He didn't like going into like a booth or something like that. He preferred to send them away to a higher quality lab.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of packs of photos where the last photo was my mum looking slightly surprised in the kitchen while making dinner, because my dad would inevitably just come in and go, smile, and just take a photo just to use up the last one.
This is for people that didn't grow up in this.
Yeah, this sounds like we're describing
in this era. Honestly,
describing how Victorian mills work.
Even us saying it does sound like it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. And then, do you remember you'd sometimes get red eye on pictures? Usually if you'd use the flash in the dark. Oh, yeah. And then there'd be little advisory stickers that the person developing it would stick on and go, advisory.
Yeah.
Red eye reduction button needed here.
Yeah.
Or try to take it in a slightly brighter environment. Or tried to photograph your car for sale without tripping of your rockery, or having your entire thumb over the front of the camera.
Yes. It almost felt like being told off if you got one of those stickers back from the...
Completely.
Like they were trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
But I think you knew.
Yeah.
To go, yes, I know. My friends aren't actually possessed by the devil. It's just the flash on my 110 camera isn't very good.
This is not red eye reduction. I was having just a simple satanic party. Okay.
When was the last time you saw a photo with red eye on it?
Well, not
camera phones don't do that, do they?
Not probably. I dug out some university photos to show one of my kids, and they just laughed at my face.
How? Because was it not a sudden innovation in small cameras? Was that the flash would do a quick burst?
It would.
And I think was that supposed to dilate everybody's pupils?
Yeah, like a little pop flash that would then, like a pre-flash.
Yeah. But camera phones don't do that. They just, as far as I'm aware, you don't get... I don't really use the flash on my camera. They're so good in low light, you often don't need the flash, do you?
No, if you can, don't use the flash and just...
I think I'll have the flash permanently
turned off. Put it on a tripod,
off.
kids, or prop it up on a book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's... I don't know why we're talking about it. Oh, just as a
basically,
side note,
if you're going to sell something, take good photos, and if you can't be bothered, then you're not going to get a good price.
Yeah.
So I'll turn into Jonny Buys Any Car, which is look, if you're stupid and lazy and you've got a Dodge Viper for sale, and I will just give you, I won't even look at it. I'll give you 600 quid for it. Okay, I'll guarantee buying it.
Yeah.
Whatever condition it's in. But if you're too lazy to even compile any words about it or any pictures about it, you deserve to be given an appalling price for it. And that's the end.
So you're going to get a porta cabin in the corner of a home-based car park.
Yes.
And you're going to say to the person at Dodge Viper, yeah, I'll give you 50 grand for that. And they go, oh, great, I'll be down in a bit. And then they turn up and you go, the tyres are all dirty and worn. That's 25 grand off, I'm afraid. Oh, dear. Someone sat in this seat.
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah, that's
the
20 grand off.
V5, the corner of the V5 is slightly torn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to be 800 quid off.
Is this third gear? Has it been used? Shit, yeah, it's 1900 quid off, sorry. And anyway, yeah, so then you get a Viper for 50 quid.
Yeah.
So that's quite good.
Well, that's why we buy any car. I mean, it's just daft, really, because I'd buy any car, Rich.
Well...
I'd buy any car.
So that's your business then? No, I buy any car.
Yeah.
And you undercut or overcut them?
I'm totally buying all the cars. Yeah. That would be the name of my business.
But then you don't really need all the cars. There's a We Buy Any Car porta cabin in the corner of a car park that I see from the train that I get from here to London sometimes. I can't remember where it is. It must be at not Chippenham. Maybe it is.
I'd be in the porta cabin.
Swindon.
I'd have one of those air dancing people flailing around.
Yes.
And I'd have a huge banner which said, I will almost certainly buy most cars.
Right.
Okay, just something snappy.
Yeah. I think
it'd be flashing with LEDs. But there'll be an asterisk which you can't see until you walk really close to my porta cabin. And that will be, I don't pay more than 900 quid for anything.
900 quid or shit off.
Yes, exactly. So you'll have a lovely person turn up and go, I got an Audi Q5.
Yeah, 900 quid.
It's 7 years old. Yeah,
900 quid.
I'll give you 900 quid for that now.
I don't think you read my sign properly. It's 900 quid.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't think this is for me. Well, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. I'll go up to 950 because it does look pretty good from here. Bear in mind, I can't be bothered to leave the porta cabin. I'm just looking across the car park. I've even got a pair of those.
Because you can do that. You don't need to inspect the car.
Nah.
Because it's 900 quid.
That's right. I stole some theatre binoculars. and they sit on my desk, and I just look across the car park with my binoculars and go, I think there's a scratch on the front bumper. Oh, yeah, we did have a small incident. Well, see, I'm sticking to 900. Sticking to 900 on that one.
But then people might start gaming the system. It is an Audi Q5. It is only 7 years old. But in fact, it was rear-ended by a skip lorry. But they've driven it in and parked it head onto your window, and you, with your little opera glasses, just look out and go, 900 quid, and they go, great, thanks very much. And it's only then you go out and go, shit.
No, Rich, because that's when I don't regret at all.
Or is there a big mirror at the other end of the car?
No, I commit and I buy, and the deal is done.
Right.
And then I look at it and go, do you know what? It's fully smashed up.
Yeah.
At the back.
Yeah.
I could turn that into modern art. So I'm straight on the phone to the Tate Modern or similar.
Yes.
And I go, I've got a proposal for you.
Yeah.
And I'd set it in a vat of resin.
Okay.
Upended. And I'll write a story around the conception of this piece. And it will definitely sell for more than 900 sheets.
Okay.
So you turn a negative into a positive every single time.
I like this. Okay.
See?
Yeah. But it is still 900 quid.
It's still completely 900 quid. Max, that's a ceiling of 900 quid.
This is an ex-Elton John Rolls-Royce Corniche drop head.
Yes.
As used in the Nikita video. What would you give it? I don't think you've read my sign. It's £900.
Yes. And by the way, are you Elton John? Why are you in Sainsbury's car park right now trying to sell a car to me?
Why are you wearing a sort of like vocal harmony group small hat, like a boater? Why are you doing that? Is that why he's wearing the Nikita video?
It's one of those hats where you sort of look like you're serving burgers in a 50s diner.
Oh, yes.
Isn't
yes,
it one
you
of
could
those?
be doing that as well. Hang on, let's have a look.
Well, while you're doing that, I wanted to get onto
no, I'm misremembering. Maybe it was the I'm Still Standing. Oh, no, here we go, look. There.
Oh, yeah, that's an awful hat.
Serving burgers / ice cream / taking part in a vocal harmony group on a summer lawn.
Barbershop quartet
Barbershop,
hat.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, barbershop quartet
Is
hat.
there anything more smug than barbershop quartet singing?
Oh,
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I actually quite enjoy it sometimes, but it is very smug.
Especially if it's accompanied with a sort of walking around in a big circle with jazz hands.
Yes.
So you walk forward to the audience, then left, then back, then right, and then forwards again.
And the song always ends with the baritone going, "And then she died," or something like that.
Yes.
Just the last line is always very deep, and they all do the hands. And
It's the circular...
or it's something more
theatrical.
whimsical.
Yeah.
But not on Thursdays.
If someone offered me any amount of money to be involved in a barbershop quartet, but you weren't allowed to laugh during the performance, I just wouldn't be able to do it. I know I wouldn't be able to do it. They'd be like, this is going to be 100 million quid.
Yeah.
If you just get through this hour.
No, I can't.
45 minutes. I'd be like, it's not going to happen. I'm going to let you down. I know I'm going to let you down. I'm really sorry.
Good.
But it's okay, because I don't need your money, because, Richard, this week, I've been old money.
Oh.
All right? I have lived the old money motoring life.
Oh.
Parked outside, in fact, is an Subaru Outback.
Yes.
I've been tooling around in this motor car, and I'm convinced it still probably is the ultimate stealth wealth statement. Because it's not a statement, that's the point.
It's a good colour, isn't it, as well? It's very muted, low-key.
It's very outdoorsy colour.
Yes, there's a sort of nature colour.
Nature. It's nature. Now, I haven't driven a new Subaru, for years.
A new Baru.
A new Baru.
Yes.
Yeah, for years. Years. And the Outback is an interesting one, because they actually, in the literature, they refer to it both as an SUV and then a crossover. Now, they're lying.
No.
Because it's just a massive estate.
Just a slightly jacked up estate car, surely.
And by calling it those two things that I've just mentioned, you're going to repulse old money people.
I don't know that they're looking at the website, though, or the stuff. I think they just go into the Subaru dealer and go, I need one of those. It's been 29 years since I bought my last one.
Yes.
It's finally so thick with dog hair that I can't get into it anymore.
Or it's like a split open beanbag.
Or just the floor's dropped out.
Yeah.
From being so caked in mud and horse shit.
Yeah, I accidentally dropped a load of dry horse meal in the boot and then bored a kettle and poured it in, and it all expanded and just kind of like filled the car with horse food. But I've been driving around in this thing. Here's the scene. I bought some artisanal bread the other day. You know this.
Because we've just eaten it.
Because we ate it this morning.
Yeah.
It was on the passenger seat yesterday. So I was driving around in a town and country coloured Outback. Artisan bread on the passenger seat. I'm wearing a fleece because I did a barn find.
Not a gilet, though.
No, it's not a gilet. It's as close to a gilet as I would get.
Yeah. You could have cut the arms off the fleece.
I could have cut the arms of the fleece, but I cherish it too much. I really felt like such an outdoorsy person, and the weather's been fine for the last week or so in Britain. It's got a sunroof, a traditional motorised sunroof.
Is it quite big?
It's quite big, and I just got in it and thought, I'm going to drive with the sunroof open, because it's a pleasure that we don't experience much with new cars. Open the sunroof, haven't closed it in 3 days.
Oh.
So old money, keep locking the car and walking away and forgetting that the sunroof's open. But I love getting in the car and knowing that it's fully aired after a hot day. It's been airing all day.
Yeah,
it's nice. And
yes,
when I do get in the car after a day's work, of course the engine's cold. How high is the RPM on cold idle?
Oh,
I'd like to guess.
I'm going to say it's 1,500.
1,800 RPM.
Oh, that is high.
And it stays there for a long time.
This will be cat light off related, I suppose. Hi, I'm cat light off.
1,800 RPM. It's not a loud engine.
I see your 1,800, however, and I raise you my Honda.
Oh,
2000.
Is it really?
Yeah, cold idle's 2000.
That's its resting heartbeat.
That's its resting heartbeat. It's a hamster of a car.
That's amazing.
But 1,800 for what's that, 2 litre in that?
2.5.
2.5.
2.5 flat 4 petrol. Obviously constant 4-wheel drive or symmetrical.
Is it hybrid?
No, I don't think this one is.
Because the Forester I had the other week was hybrid. And I think I said at the time, the laziest hybrid I've ever driven.
The thing about this car is this old Outback that's not old. It feels like it's a box fresh car from 2003. But I'm saying that as a compliment.
Yeah, okay.
Because the infotainment and everything, it does have Apple CarPlay and things. It does have a fairly large screen, but the buttons and the tiles are huge.
Yes.
So they're very easy to find. Everything's quite chunky inside. In fact, the cladding on the side, it's almost like it's half as big again as you were expecting it to be. The roof bars are enormous.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Absolutely enormous. It makes an all-road, a first-gen Audi all-road, look like it's just got sort of, I don't know, apologetic cladding.
A smear of cladding.
Yeah, but it drives really quite nicely. It's comfortable. There's body roll, please.
Yeah.
But it grips. It's got a really soft indicator stalk.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, and I couldn't decide if I liked it. And also a very quiet TikTok. Again, it doesn't want to disturb the conversation.
Do you remember I was talking about driving that Infiniti QX80 in the US last month? That had an extremely quiet indicator sound, annoyingly so.
Whispering like that.
And it's a quiet car. But sometimes, basically, unless you were at a standstill, you couldn't hear the indicator. And I find that annoying. Yeah. I like to be able to hear it, because then you know it's on.
Well, the Renault 5, the electric... Excuse me, that Renault 5, I've found in the menus, it's got 3 volumes of indicator.
No.
3 volume settings. Loud, medium and low.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. That's one for your book of trivia, boring car trivia.
Well, I'd have to... Is that the first car to do... Gosh,
adjusting the volume of your indicator.
Seen that. I mean, I like that.
Yeah,
I think that's a good option to have. If it's deep, you don't have to think about it, but if you want it, it's there.
Yeah,
because Fiat used to, maybe still do. They gave you the option, lane change indicators. You could have it as the standard. I think industry standard is 3, isn't it? You tap the stalk and it does you 3 flashes to change lanes.
That's right.
But Fiat's let you up that to 5.
Oh, really?
Which is too many.
It is too many.
But I think certainly on like 3rd gen Pandas and things like that, I suppose 500s as well, it wasn't something you could do yourself. It was a dealer programmable. They had to get the laptop out to do it. So you had to go back to the dealer and go, actually 5's too many. Could I have it back to 3, please? It's not really worth a trip to the dealer.
It's not.
But I can say, because I know this because I borrowed a Panda press car and it had 5 flashes. I was like, 5's too many.
Yeah.
That's just, no. That's just, it's still going on and you've done the manoeuvre.
It looks like you've made a mistake.
Yes.
You're not paying attention. In fact, I'm driving here. I followed a guy in a 5 Series BMW, quite an old chap, it turns out. And he had the indicator on for got to be 5 minutes.
Oh.
Left indicator on a dual carriageway, at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's just
And people were flashing him, going past, doing the indicator thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was just irritating.
Yeah, it's irritating.
And it was rush hour, so we couldn't work out what he was trying to achieve. And anyway, in this old money Outback, I thought I was getting 38.5 to the gallon, which I think is a world record for a Subaru engine. I've set the trip, and from my house to the shoots that I did yesterday, and then coming here, I was getting 38 to the gallon. Because that's ridiculous.
The hybrid Forester that I borrowed was struggling to do much above 30.
Look, I don't know what I've done. Wow. I don't know what... I mean,
is it an auto?
Yeah, very.
How many speeds? Or is it CVT on this?
I think it's CVT, but it doesn't feel like an annoying CVT.
No.
It's got the old paddles. It's stepped.
Yes.
I
can't believe that.
I mean, Subaru have never made an economical engine, I don't think, so I was quite shocked.
One of their brand values is thirst.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because, of course, old money people don't need to know.
They don't need to know
about that.
You know, their house already costs a ruinous amount of heat.
Yeah.
Why be worried about a car that uses an incredible amount of petrol?
I know.
And it would be petrol, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it would be petrol.
Like, even when Subaru had that foray into making diesel boxers.
I never drove one of them.
Not sure I did either. No. I think I heard they weren't very good, but I can't imagine what it would sound like.
No.
Not nice.
Would the two noises cancel themselves out? The boxer orientation and the diesel clatter.
Does that Outback sound Subaru boxery?
Not that, but very balanced. And I was going to say, although it has an 1800 RPM cold idle, it's quiet. It's just like, I'm aware it's there. But yeah, I've been driving around in this thing, and the thing that confirmed to me that this is the most old money stealth well thing, and I really enjoyed my anonymity in it. Not that I'm a famous person or anything, I just kind of noticed that nobody noticed, and I kind of revelled in it, was the fact that I overtook a car. I was doing about 75, and before I'd had chance to go past it and pull in, a Range Rover came storming up behind me. It was a current range spoke.
Yeah.
And what did it do?
Sat 2 centimetres from your back bumper.
And flashed at me.
Flashed?
And I'd been in its way for all of 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And it properly flashed out the way. And I went... And that is why the Outback is tasteful old money.
Yeah.
Absolutely tasteful old money. Coupled with the fact that, as I'm telling you all of this, I had a stack of wheels and tyres in the back. 21-inch wheels and tyres stood vertically in the boot. And they fitted. Capacious boot for Spaniels and Labradors.
Funny thing about Subaru is that they are a very niche car company in this country.
They're incredibly niche.
But, and I noticed this again when I was in America last month, where there are a lot of Subarus. Subaru are really big in America.
Yeah.
I just looked this up. Do you know... Well, I'll give you a bit of context, because I think Subarus... They have quite a reputation of being safe, I think, in the US, because they do well in their equivalent of NCAP. And they have a certain sort of general kind of reliable, sensible kind of...
It's the durability thing.
Yeah.
And so, they're a conservative-looking car.
Yes. So in many ways, they're sort of like a Japanese Volvo. Yeah. So I've just checked this. In 2024, Volvo sold in the US and Canada... Total sales were 138,647 cars. Right. So, yeah, 138,000, call it. Subaru, 2024, just in the US, 667,725,000 vehicles.
Over 500,000?
Yeah.
Just
amazing,
in the
isn't
US?
It? Just in the US.
Not Canada?
No. It's nuts, isn't it?
That's unbelievable.
They are Subaru, because I think sort of every show you go, oh God, I mean, now they don't do Impreza WRXs here and anything like that. It's like, who the fuck's buying Subarus? Poor old Subaru. I hope they're not going to go under. They're not going to go under. They're bloody nailing it. Yeah.
Well, we have quite a lot of listeners and patrons from the US and Canada, so thank you guys and ladies. But the reason why we're saying this is because over here in the UK now, Subaru are one of those cars which you'd have to really want to own new and actively seek out. There's not many dealers.
Where are the dealers?
I don't know. And we're not saying they're bad. We're just saying that they're
They just don't sell a lot of cars.
Yeah.
I've just seen here now, so far this year, and this is from up to April, so they've had a few weeks on this now, but so far this year in the US, Subaru have sold 222,000, almost 223,000 cars.
Goodness me.
They are absolutely okay. My mother-in-law's got a Forester.
Has she?
I've never got around to asking her why she bought a Forester. They had a Toyota Venza.
A Venza?
Venza. And then they just went and got a Forester. But that's the thing. Here, if someone suddenly switched to a Subaru, you'd want to go, so what prompted that? You know, it's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
It feels like you had to sort of go out of your way to get a Subaru. But I think probably they ended up with a Forester because it was just an attractive deal going. They like the car. They know it's a good car because their reputation is strong.
Yeah.
It's not such a sort of piece of mental gymnastics to end up at a Subaru. And fair enough, you know, it's like you just go, good.
Do you know, I feel like people have long sort of said that Alfa Romeo is like that. If you're a new Alfa owner in this country, you really are a connoisseur and you want to be different. And that still sort of applies. But I actually think in the UK that now applies more to Subaru people. If you're a new Subaru owner, people are like, oh, that's very left of field.
Yeah.
And they do. They turn left out of the field, and then they go. They go back into another field.
And the car just soaks it all up
because they're just driving around their land, checking their land. That's what they do.
I was sitting in a cafe yesterday, overhearing somebody talking about their land.
Oh gosh!
And I was a bit like,
land.
I wonder if they've got a Subaru.
They'll totally have a Subaru.
I'm going to drive that Outback later.
Please.
Because I was disappointed by the Forester that I borrowed recently. I just thought it didn't really have a lot of personality compared to Subaru's past, particularly. It's just a bit
This just feels like an extremely robust old money jalopy.
Yeah.
Which is quick enough.
Yeah.
It's quick enough, and it's spookily economical for a constant four-wheel drive. Big engine.
That is still, I'm still amazed.
I'm amazed. I did double check that. When I was stepping on it a bit, I got 35, but it was 38.
2.5 litre four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
quite a large car. That's not bad. Just to change the subject slightly, just because it reminded me, I was standing in this window here at the front of my house the other day, and someone rode past on, I don't know what it was, I think it might have been a BMW motorcycle.
Yeah.
That had got a very fared-in front wheel.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yes. Like, was it red with yellow decals?
No, I think it was white.
Because they did one in the 90s that was.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, I know. I think I know the one you mean. It's like really sort of 90s, well, kind of 80s looking.
Yeah.
Super aero-y sort of.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a massive fairing, but it just had a sort of bigger and more skirty front mudguard than normal.
Skirty.
And I just thought that, to me, is not a good look.
No.
It looks very 80s. It looks, and what I realise is it's the motorcycle equivalent of the Tom Cruise run. Or the Blade Hands run that we've discussed before. It looks like you're trying to be futuristic, and it just doesn't quite work. I just thought I don't think that looks cool. I mean, I know nothing about motorcycles. Maybe it's a very good bike that it was on, but it just looks.
Was it a bit like those covers that you put over the back wheel that ladies put there to stop their skirts from being drawn into the wheels and being...
Do they? Oh, on bicycles?
Old school bicycles.
Yes.
Do you remember those? The sort of skirt covers.
I forgot about
maybe
those.
It's the equivalent of that. A mate of mine's wife that I used to work with, I remember her saying this once, and it still tickles me to this day. She said, I watched Purple Rain last night. I haven't seen it for ages. That's not the joke, Rich.
No, but it's just such an unexpected. Yeah, I cannot imagine a circumstance. I would be absolutely blindsided if I was just chatting to somebody and they went, I watched Purple Rain last night. And then she just started cracking up. And I went, what's so funny? She said, because I don't think there's anybody that looks more out of place on a motorbike than Prince. There's a moment in the... There's a moment... this is the bit that she followed up on. I had to look at it on YouTube and I was giggling for ages. She said there's a bit where he goes onto some really rough ground at speed. Oh, no.
And you think he's going to fall off. He doesn't, I don't think. But she said he looks really, really unsettled and not enjoying it. And for a guy was a very, very cool rock star, it just doesn't quite fit.
But,
like he's borrowed it off a mate because his car's broken down, he's got no other options.
Is it because his feet struggle to touch the ground? Prince was famously not a tall man.
No.
A fantastic musician, but not a tall man.
Couldn't he do the James Brown style jump splits?
Maybe.
I think he did jumps where you get back up again off the split without using your hands.
One of my favourite
groin control there.
You're a fan of Fesshole, aren't you, on social media?
Oh gosh, yeah. It's the only thing I look at on Twitter anymore.
It's a go-to for me, although sometimes it exposes the darker corners of the human soul. But it's one of my favourite confessions on there was because some of them are so sweetly innocent and joyful. That's partly what I like about it. Is the really sort of just the sweet ones. There's someone confessing that they convinced their children that Prince was so small he was only the size of a cat and had to have clothes specially made for him. A cat. I know. I think he overstretched himself there a bit. A cat. I mean, if he just gone, no, he was actually the size of like a 6-year-old.
I've got a really big cat. Well, my cat's big.
Do you need a really small pop star?
Yeah, I would have loved one.
I love one. Having the Prince in your house.
Seriously, my cat looks really glamorous.
Okay.
Prince could ride my cat.
He'd have loved to have
on stage, and it would have looked like a mythical creature. You wouldn't have thought it was a cat.
He'd have just done it further forward on the stage than expected, and everyone would go, "Oh my God, Prince has come on a tiger or something." But and then you wouldn't have. Hang on, isn't that a house cat? What the fuck?
Yeah. And hang on, is Prince only just a little bit bigger than that cat?
Prince is like, his feet are only just touching the ground.
I thought we were just a long way away from the stage. I don't know. Is
that a child's guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where were we? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, so Prince on a motorbike in Purple Rain, yes. Somebody, not that long ago, and I'll never find it now, but sent us an email about the cars in the back of shot in one of Prince's videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a bizarre...
I can't remember the motorbike, actually, that Prince rode. I know it is a specific motorbike.
It's a bizarre mix of cars because one of them, I'm pretty certain, is just a Nissan Maxima.
Just a Nissan Maxima?
Yeah, but they're like, it's sort of like the supercars and then there's a Nissan Maxima. Like one of the people that's pulled up at Prince's underground funk party had put his Lamborghini in for a service and just got a courtesy car.
That'd be Freddie Tavares.
Oh.
Because that was his first car that he modified, and he's just bought another Maxima that I think he's going to do.
Has he?
Yeah, because that's the car that kindled the love.
Oh.
Or maybe it's that viral video that was going around years ago of that guy street racing a Maxima, like an older guy, and it's filmed from the passenger seat. I'm sure most of you will know this clip, but if you don't, I'll dig it out and we'll put it on our Patreon. He pulls away, launches this car in a race, and he's absolutely shredding through the gearbox. And this thing outguns something like a 911 turbo. I mean, I don't know what this Maxima's running, but you can see it. I think there's gubbins, there's like an air freshener hanging from the rear view mirror or something, and it's pretty much horizontal the whole time. It's really quick.
I can't find this now. It's annoying because I definitely had a conversation with a listener about this. But anyway,
and listener.
Prince had a Plymouth Prowler.
I like the Plymouth Prowler
in purple, obviously.
See, I know. We know of someone with a Prowler.
Do we?
Mr. Cowland.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we?
And I think that a lot of people poo-pooed it because it was only a V6. I've got no problem with a V6. There's a place for a V6, okay? I'd have a Prowler. I've got no idea what it drives like.
No, I don't.
I don't know if it's
I'd have a Prowler just for shits and giggles.
Would you have the sort of like Steam Rally trailer?
Oh,
accessory trailer.
I think if you're going Prowler, you've got to commit to the bit and have the trailer as well, because otherwise,
could we buy the trailer on expenses and sell merch out of it?
That's a good. I'm sorry. There's a lot of keyboard clicking here because
we could claim the trailer back on expenses.
There's a few Prowlers for sale.
What, in the UK?
One in the UK. It's in Altrincham.
Near where you used to...
where I grew up.
Are they lots of money?
They kind of are, yes.
20?
This one, 26.
Okay.
It's silver as well, and it's got... It's not factory, is it? It's got a hole cut in the side, like a porthole on the head of the front door. No.
Like a fake Buick porthole?
No. Yes, but big, like an engine vent kind of thing. I mean, it's been quite professionally done with it. It looks factory, but it's not. And it's got a funny grille. But it's silver. That's the most underwhelming part of it. It's silver, and it's like, you might as well have it in a jazzy colour.
You'd have to vinyl wrap that.
There's another one in France for €39,500.
That's probably the only one in France, though.
No, then there's another one in France.
Oh, shit.
For €46,900. And then one in the Netherlands for 48,900. I'm sorry to Dutch listeners, we always do a stupid accent when we say the Netherlands.
I absolutely love the Netherlands.
I love the Netherlands as well.
I blimmin' love the Netherlands. I think it's fantastic.
Finally, there's one in Hong Kong, which is right-hand drive, so that must have been converted. And it's £62,000.
But for people that live in Hong Kong, that's the equivalent of you and I just buying a curry tonight.
Yes, getting a pack of chewing gum before we go.
They'd be like, well, do I fancy a Prowler?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very expensive.
I mean, the tragic thing is that somebody in Hong Kong is going to pay £62,000. It's yellow, by the way, so it's good colour.
Good colour, strong colour.
Strident. But yeah, they're going to pay 62 grand for that. They're going to then bring it to the UK when they move over here. And then you're going to give them £900 for it from your cabin in a station.
They'll have a puncture, and they're foreigners, and they don't know what the drill is, and they'll be on the motorway. And I'll just go, I'll come and get it.
Have you got? So as well as your porter cabin in a car park with some opera glasses, you've got a predatory recovery trap. I've got
a tow rope that's got a lot of suspension in it. You know, those ones you can really jerk cars out. And it's got a bit of damping in it.
Yeah.
I've got one of those, and I've got I got a trade-in, Rich. I've got a really cheap deal on a Mitsubishi L200 Animal.
Yeah.
But the problem is the owner, and this is the reason why I gave them a lot less than £900 for it, is because it appears that they'd started the car in reverse instead of first, and they reversed it through a wall. So the back end looked like a bit of sort of like, you know when you sometimes buy a loaf of bread and it's been squashed on one end?
Yeah.
It looked like that.
That's tragic.
You can't open the tailgate.
Yeah.
It's crumped a bit.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll give you £220 for that. Only because I had a long MOT.
Yeah.
And I've sign written it myself because I was going through a quiet patch. So I parked it outside my...
You've sign written it yourself?
I've sign written it myself. But what I've realised about sign writing, and this is the real skill here, is you'll get it right on one door, on one side, and then you realise you've only done 50% of the job.
Yeah.
You've got to go around the other side and do exactly the same thing again.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
That's where it...
Yeah. So I did one side really well. Second side, I was losing faith, and it was a bit hasty. I ran out of space, so it went over the door, and
some of the window,
bit onto the wing, bit onto the
bit on a wheel. Yeah.
So if you're going to ever take a picture of my recovery vehicle that doesn't exist, do it from the driver's side, is what I'd say.
Is it? I quite like it if your recovery vehicle was an LDV 400, but V8.
Oh gosh.
And it wasn't built as a recovery vehicle; it was built as an ambulance. And you have quite crudely sawn off the rear bodywork.
I knew you'd say ambulance.
Or maybe you haven't. Or maybe you have. You've sawn the rear bodywork off, but only sort of half height. Installed ramps in the back, but essentially you're still driving into the back of an ambulance. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that sounds great.
Yeah. Okay.
Cambulance. Yeah. Carbulance.
Can we talk about the book you have in front of you, which you turned up here last night with?
Oh, yeah.
That you've acquired. And
so, to set the context, I did put it on Instagram, actually. I won't tell you the car that I went to film, the Barnfine car, although Richard was getting exceptionally excited about it.
It's giving me palpitations.
And I video called him while we were there because I'm going to use it in the video. The house where the chap had passed away, sadly, and his family were emptying the house. He was a massive hoarder. The house was full of stuff, and in quite a squalid state. However, the garage and the car were immaculate, but the actual living part of the house was atrocious. the guy was obsessive about collecting books about certain things like James Bond, specifically Roger Moore, and cars, and quite a bit of sort of World War II stuff. And the lady said, if you see any books or any paraphernalia that you like, feel free to have them. Just show me what you want. And I went up to...
Paraphernalia.
Yeah, she had. And weirdly, same paraphernalia. He had a collection of paraffin lamps in the garage.
Oh, literal paraffin.
Actual paraffin lamps. Paraffin. Would it be paraffin paraphernalia? I don't know. Would it?
Yes.
He had loads of real paraffin and real paraffin lamps.
Yeah.
So I found this book, and it just tickled me. One of them was that I forgot to pick up was called something like Saloon Cars of the Early 60s.
Early 60s.
Which did make me giggle. But this one was so 70s, I thought, I'm grabbing this for Rich.
What is the publication date in the front? Because I assume 70s, but...
It's got to be. So the name of the book is, Rich, Do Your Own Car Spraying. And it was published in 1977.
Perfect. By, it has an author's name as well.
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. Now, wasn't he...
Oh, my gosh. This is someone that's photographed a Morgan as if they were trying to do a lacklustre classified.
Yes, because it's too zoomed in.
Because they've cropped the side of the Morgan off, and that just looks shit. Years ago, when cars were a bit ropey...
Yes.
And lots of people did a bit more maintenance in order to keep the car alive. And cars just broke down more, I think, is fair to say. And I think people have more mechanical knowledge because you had to. This is actively encouraging you to do body repairs on your driveway or on the road outside your house.
Yeah, whatever the most dusty, gritty environment you can find, that's where you should be doing this.
Look at this. There's a picture of someone pointing to a very, very dented Austin A40 front wing. And the caption is, using an ordinary hammer and a piece of wood. This dent can be knocked partly out, saving time, but also filler.
Oh, but also filler.
Yeah, so saving time, but using less
time.
Filler.
I thought you were going to say money. But time, I see time on the repair, right, I get you. Okay.
Repair
the
time.
Money is kind of implicit in the whole book, I suppose.
But do your own spraying.
Do your own car spraying.
The intro.
Do your own heart surgery.
The intro, I must read as 1960s person because it really tickled me. Most people wouldn't go out in a suit which had bits missing from the sleeves or had changed colour in parts. Yet it's surprising how many people are prepared to drive a motor car around in the same condition, with patches of rust and faded bodywork. Next time you go out, try and guess the age of the cars without looking at their registration numbers. You'll be in for a surprise. Some cars are 2 or 3 years old and they look atrocious. Yet others, 3 times that age, are in showroom condition. The difference is usually only skin, or in this case, paintwork deep. A few small dents, a bit of surface rust, a scratch here and there, and above all, faded, lifeless paintwork adds years to the apparent age of the car, and it can knock hundreds of pounds off its second-hand value. Yet for the price of a couple of tyres, the do-it-yourself man can repair the dents and scratches, remove the rust, and completely respray the car, returning it to its showroom condition.
Showroom condition.
Yes.
Is that a damning indictment? Oh, thank you. You're giving this to me. An unusual book in that the cover is just completely replicated on the back cover. There's no
ambidextrous.
The dust jacket is just symmetrical.
Have you read the front stuff? I don't know if the front and back dust jacket's the same.
Oh, there's some little front matter here.
It does, yeah, it's quite matter of fact.
This book was written to enable the average motorist to respray his or her car. His or her, very progressive.
I like that.
Oh, I'm sure if this had been published even just 5 years earlier, it would have said his car.
Yes.
Or possibly his or his wife's car.
Yes, respray your wife's car in her lunch break at work. And surprise
to respray his or her car to a professional finish. Again, asterisk. At a fraction of the cost a garage would charge. The text is written in easy-to-understand language, avoiding technical terms, and actual photographs taken as the work was being carried out are used to illustrate the book. Wow. Unlike other books on the subject, I like that's loaded, isn't it? That's so loaded.
Yeah.
You might as well say, e.g. by that idiot Graham Wilson.
It's like the kids would call it a roast.
Yes.
They're roasting other car-spraying authors.
Unlike other books on the subject, it also tells the reader how to deal with minor body repairs such as rust, dents, scratches, etc.
Etc.
Most important if the vehicle to be sprayed is a few years old. There's also implicit in this is the fact that your car might have started rusting at, say, 1 year old.
Completely.
Or perhaps even less if it's a Lancia.
Yes, that's right.
Well, in 1977, I mean, that was peak rot for Lancia.
There's probably a chapter on my 9-month-old Lancia.
I turned the next page and expecting it just to be the title page, but it's not. There's a sort of subtitle page. This is weird. It feels like a mistake.
What does it say?
Well, it just has very small writing on it. I assumed it was a dedication. It would sort of say to my wife, Daphne, who loved spraying cars. But it actually just says the title of the book. It just says, Do Your Own Car Spraying. But it looks, because it's in such small typeface, it looks like a hidden message. So the emphasis is different. Do your own car spraying.
Oh, what? Don't ask me.
Well, it sounds passive-aggressive in some way. Or just aggressive. And then you have the proper title page.
Do you know what this makes me think of?
This is fascinating.
When we were at Morgan doing the live gig, and I was washing the Eagle Quest hastily round the back, with that huge pressure washer, someone did lean over and say, "You can do mine. It's round the corner." Badum tish.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, after you've read that, imagine if I was out in the street this Saturday and I was your neighbour. And you looked out the window and said to your wife, "You're never going to guess what Johnny at number 13's doing. He's repainting his wife's Mini." Her Mini was brown, and he's repainting it lilac. He's doing it right away on the street. You'd go out there half an hour later and go, "You can do mine if you want, mate." And I'll go, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah.
And you'll giggle and walk off. You'll go to the boozer with your missus and the kids, sit in the beer garden smoking fags, and you'll come back and your Lancia Beta that you love so much is now lilac, which you didn't want.
Yes, that'll learn you.
And I'll go, "I did it."
And unfortunately, a load of blossom blew off a tree during the process, and it's got bits in it.
And you live by a wood yard, which is in high wind. It's blowing sawdust everywhere.
I'll put a pic or two of this on our Patreon, but just finally, in the index, I'm just looking here, it's got a section called The Technique of Preparation, which I like already. But then that's divided into 3 subsections. What? Preparing a scratch, preparing a dent, and preparing a hole.
I thought I thought the 3 stages were, I leave for work in an hour.
Shit, we've got to go to Steve and Sue's wedding later.
The car's packed and the kids are in it, and you should have already gone on holiday. And then the 3rd level of prep is, like you say, you're doing the kids' prom and the car looks shit. What do you do?
There's an appendix in the back here that says, all personalising items were supplied by Superformance, 46 Park Road, London N8. Superformance. The author would also like to thank the magazine Custom Car for information supplied on personalising. And some pictures of ladies with their bosoms out.
Actually, if you go to the personalisation chapter, I think it tries to tell you how to do snazzy, like trendy fades or masking off some stripes. I'm pretty sure. I remember seeing it. I was giggling because we just stopped for a coffee.
Yeah, there are some. Oh my gosh!
It was a toss-up between that and getting you a Roger Moore biography.
I mean, I would have liked that also. But this is. Wow. It's quite wordy as well, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a small...
Well,
small
to that end,
anyway, we should...
I've sprayed my own car before. I might have said the story, forgive me if I have, but a friend of mine bought for almost nothing a Nissan Sunny, and we repainted it exactly in our lunch break at work. We weren't allowed to do it in the works car park, so we drove it around the corner to the Village Hall car park, and we did it in the Village Hall car park.
Next to that Hoover bag emptying facility, just to get the finish. So extra nice.
Yeah, we painted that, and then... and I obviously painted my comma camper van on the M5 when the M5 closed.
Yes, of course.
So I have experience with DIY.
If only you'd had this book, you would have done an even better job.
I think I probably would have done. But if anyone has painted a car hastily and there's an interesting backstory,
do get in touch.
or an embarrassing situation where you think that car's now worth 50 grand and I painted it with a fox's tail on my auntie's drive.
Even Johnny and his porter cabin in a car park won't give me 900 quid for it.
No.
Yeah. Hello, Smith & Sniff is the address for that, or anything else you want to get off your chest. And we should probably bring this into land now. But before we go, I have three things to tell you. The first is Johnny's engaged in a project to rewrite a 1980s John Cleese movie, but replacing Jamie Lee Curtis with the lead singer of Marillion under the working title A Fish Called Wanda. If that's not your taste. Thank you to Noel Huggett, one of our long-time listeners, for that.
A flesh called Wanda.
If that's not your taste, there is the Late Break Show, of course. What's on there?
Yeah.
No, Tom Cruise. Tell us all about the new Mission Impossible film. Yeah.
Let me just check. Hang on. I'm just trying to remember what I've done in my life. I think. Oh, yeah. This weekend will be a really cool car cave that I did in Somerset.
Oh.
A guy, very interesting bloke, and he's got a great combination of Japanese, American, British and German vehicles. Really, really eclectic. Spent a lot of his life living in different countries, and he's got some motorbikes too. Look, the man's got a GMC Cyclone.
Oh. Has he?
Yeah, and it's immaculate. And he bought, what was the other one? The Typhoon? He owned a Typhoon from new. He bought it from Bauer Millet in
Manchester.
And then at the time he didn't get on with it, so he sold it. And then years later he was like, I really wish I hadn't sold that. So he ended up with another one, different derivative. So yeah, he's got everything from hot minis, Mitsubishi Evo Pajero and Evo Lancer rally car, down to Resto Mod 911, 944 turbo track day car. Yeah, really cool stuff, and some interesting motorbikes. Oh, and he's got a missile as well. I'll tell you, he's got a ground to air missile.
Of course, why would
decommissioned
you not?
OBS.
Yeah,
so that's happening.
Good. Second thing I've got to tell you is that we're doing a live show at the London Concourse on June the 4th. I don't know if tickets there were a few last I looked available.
Yes, I think there were.
Go to smithandsniff.com and follow the page for live shows, and the link there will take you to where you can buy tickets. If you still can, it'll say sold out if you can't, because we're helpful like that.
It's a hell of a show. Not our show, the actual concourse. The London Concourse is a great show.
Yes, and your Smith and Sniff ticket gets you into the concourse complimentarily. I don't think that's a word. Yep. But also, speaking of live shows, Gareth Jones on Speed, the original UK car podcast, is celebrating 20 years. And so Gareth is holding a 20th anniversary bash in North Wales. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on stage taking part along with Gareth and Zog, and we're going to be singing some songs and doing some usual chatting and nonsense. That's in July. So if you want to come along for that, it promises to be very jolly. Go to garethjones.tv or follow Gareth or me on social media, and we'll give you links to tickets. And the third thing, was
very nasal, almost
impression
like
of Murray
Jeremy
Walker.
Vine.
Oh, was it? Okay,
it was.
The third thing I've got to tell you is we don't normally do car ones in this bit, but I just discovered this recently. The current Porsche Cayman and Boxster has a longer wheelbase than the current 911.
Does it?
Isn't that weird?
Have you double checked that?
Absolutely double checked.
I didn't for a second think that you wouldn't have done.
2,475 millimetres for the Cayman Boxster chassis and 2,450 millimetres, 25 mil in it. Not a lot.
No, but that's still.
But the fact remains, on Porsche's official numbers, a Boxster has a longer wheelbase than a 911.
Has it always?
I don't know. I should have checked that, shouldn't I? But
damn it, that's so fascinating.
It's a weird one. Anyway, on that thought-provoking note,
side of things,
it's time to end. But we'll do this again, answering some questions on Friday and a regular show on Monday. Until then, goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. Bye.
So you've enjoyed this podcast, but you've had a thought. Is there a way here today that you could show support? Well, you could join our Patreon, what wonders that it brings. Early shows and extra notes on that side of things. You could buy our merchandise, we've mugs and hats but still no ties. One day we will make those pies, but in the meantime guys, hey guys, like and subscribe and maybe leave a nice review. Like and subscribe, we know you know just what to do. Like and subscribe, we don't want to take the piss. Like and subscribe, but we were told to ask for this. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.